Hey love bug, it's me, Emma Upton, clarity alchemist, resistance evaporator, magic map maker, and welcome to Let's Build the Real Thing. This is the podcast where you remember where you put the map to your work, and you do it in a way that feels like an adventure, not a checklist, not a job title, a wild, sacred calling that feels like a boiling hot bath, a scalding brew, and your fave bickies. I built this in the messiest season of my life. Twin babies, full-time teaching, husband away every week, and a brain that never let me rest. No spare time, no sabbatical, just a deep pull that I couldn't ignore anymore. So I followed it. I created the Be Anxiety Free Find formula from scratch, turned it into a global program, published a book, and left teaching in 2021 to do this full time. Now, I help powerful women bring their work to life, the thing they can't stop thinking about. We tap your magic so the map becomes real, and then we build it together. Let's build the real thing. If you didn't listen to yesterday's podcast episode about, I know what I should do, but I'm not sure why I won't do it, then go do that, because I know if you're anything like me, you know you're here for more. You know that this thing is standing in the way of you creating the moreness that you're here for. You just want to know what to do about it, and then you'll go and bloody well do it. We just want that action. So many of us are searching for this secret, are searching for the answer, are searching for the thing that is going to bring the clarity. But the clarity comes in what we talked about yesterday, and what we're focusing on today, when you can see that, is making space. And I hate that this is the answer. It annoys me that this is the answer still, because I always want to move. I always want to push. I'm working from the misfire energy of push. And if you don't know the 4 misfires, then let me know, and I will send you an overview document that will be really helpful to give you this insight into understanding. If you are somebody who's here for more, and you have got everything in your life up to this point through a push misfire, you just want the answers because you trust yourself to just go away and implement it. Like, I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to find the answer, and I'm going to push into finding that answer. You cannot. The answers that you are seeking are not for regular people. You are not a regular person. The answers that you are seeking lie at a depth that doesn't make any sense. So in order to access those answers, in order to access the clarity that is going to give you the next step, the next 3 steps, the next 5 steps on exactly where you're meant to be navigating and negotiating yourself to, you have to be willing to make a space. So if you have this question of, should I do X inside my work? Am I being called to go and work with Y? Should I be investing in this course? Should I be taking this class? Should I be doing this thing to move my business forward? Should I be letting go of this part? Should I be restructuring my team? Should I let go of this member of the team? Should I be employing a different member of the team? If you have this confusion around it, we want to go and hire somebody who knows how to do this at a deeper level than us, at a more established level than us, ask them the question, and they tell us the answer. And that can be helpful. It can be helpful. But you will never know if that answer is for you, because you don't know. Even if the tangible results look like something that you are seeking, there is a very good chance that it's the trio of terror leading. Getting an answer that makes the trio and their terrorizing and the ego feel better. But that deep longing part of your heart and your soul and that depth of you that's here to birth something unseen before, it would be like somebody saying to Jesus, this is the way to do it, dude. Like, I don't know what you're on about. Why are you sitting with these, with these people? Like, these are the people you should be sitting with. And he's like, guys, you don't get the mission. Like, you don't. It's like that. Nobody knows your answers. Jesus was not asking people, what should I do next? He had counsel. He had people he trusted. He was having conversations, but he was doing it to get to the depth of him, to get to the depth. This is me pretending like I know Jesus. That's ridiculous as I'm saying it out loud. But that is because understanding the energy of where that font came from, the only way you get to access that is by going and spiraling deeper, and not existential spiral, spiraling deeper into you. How do you do that? It is not by asking questions and get a definitive answer and moving with that. I still love, my ego is still loud, and it would love that to be the case, and I still find myself falling into it. But the answer is to go into the space where you can see the trio terrorizing, where you can see the trio demanding answers, where you can see the trio wanting to go and learn from the mentors that are screaming the loudest of, I've got the easy answer, I've got the easiest steps, I've got this is how you can get the tangible thing that your ego and the trio are terrorizing you around being the answer. If we follow that, we get results, but we're unfulfilled, and we're sick of doing that. From the podcast episode yesterday, you were listening to what is sitting underneath the noise of the trio that are terrorizing you. Now we want to elongate that space. Viktor Frankl, who, if you've read Man's Search for Meaning, you know what I'm speaking into. But it was one of the first books I read on this wild-ass journey that I find myself on now, going from being a regular human, doing a regular job, being a school teacher, now to doing this. That was one of the first books that opened my eyes of like, oh, the way I'm doing it is just surface level bullshit. No wonder I don't feel fulfilled. And in that book, he talks about between the stimulus and the response, there is a space. In your space lies your choice. And in that choice lies your freedom. So he's not just saying make a space like we did yesterday. He's saying make a space so that you can start to see it clearly. So you can start to see the iterations of what's going on. So you can start to peel away the trio of terror who are just dead set on terrorizing you and making everything similar and familiar, because that trio has confused familiar with safe. You don't feel safe. That's why when we keep operating through that system, we just feel more and more and more unsafe. When we make that space, when we truly allow, holy moly, that's just a feeling inside my body. That's just a thought. That's just a desperate attempt for me to try and save face with the groups that I'm well established in that feel like safety. But actually, when I truly identify it, they feel like I'm having my soul sucked dry and I need a week's retreat by myself when I've been with them for any kind of time period. When you make that space and you start to be able to see it, is it terrifying? Yes, to the trio, but it feels like that feeling that you're searching for everywhere else. It feels like home. It feels like a brew and a biscuit and a boiling hot bath. It feels like everything that was scrambling around out there, and the trio are desperate for you not to access it, because you're going to start leaping to paradigms that they don't know how to control because it's not familiar, and therefore it interprets it as being unsafe. It's the biggest lie that we fall into as humans. So now you're starting to play. You're starting to see the trio for who they are. And if you want more information about the trio, let me know. I've got PDFs of my book, the Be Anxiety Free Find Formula. Be Anxiety Free Forever is my book, and it's on Amazon. But if you just want to know these three, the trio of terror, that'll give you a bloody good foundation. I've got some cool PDFs that'll give you more details on them. Being able to see them creates space. Being obsessed with seeing them creates space. And then you bring this thing that you're playing with, that you're searching for an answer for, to the forefront, and you very matter-of-factly ask the question of, what do I do with this? And then you say the words, I am open to receive. Help me. I will do my part. Can you see how annoying that is if you're like me? No. Give me the answer. Do I fire the guy or not? Do I take the gig or not? Even though this isn't completely in my brand, is it a really cool opportunity, and will I meet people or not? Like, that's what I want the answer to. Yes. But the only way you're going to know if it's working from ego or if it's working from your work, your truth, the thing you're here to do, is to create space around it. is to watch the trio of terror terrorizing you around it, and to go into the space of I see you, calling it out, writing it down. God forbid, laughing about the nonsense that we create for ourselves in our own minds. The amount of times I write things down like, I don't actually believe that, it's insanity. Like, no, Bob, what are you doing? Being able to create that around it. Then asking this question, putting it out outside of you. And that important bit, show me, I'll do my part. I'll hand this over, but equally, I'll do my part. Give me the insight, give me the message, give me the dream, give me the chance meeting on someone in the street. Give me that nudge of go pick up this book that you haven't picked up for 5 years and just open it and see what page it falls on. Give me that insight and I will be open to receive. Now, at that point, that is the just do it point. It won't ever feel comfortable. We want the just do it point at the beginning of yesterday's podcast episode without ever identifying Bob and Francis and Toad, without ever making any space. No, give me the answer, give me the answer, give me the answer. Suddenly, when you've made that space, you're not being reactive in the trio of terror. There's no space to terrorize you anymore because you're just like, I don't believe that. That's not me. That's just a feeling in my body. That's just the fear of all the circles that I've created for myself falling away. And that's Francis who wants to hold on to those people that actually make me feel like shit. Interesting. Now I've got the space. Now what am I going to do? Fuck, I know. I know what is necessary. I know I have to hire that person that's going to cost more money than we have inside the business, but I know it is for me, so I'm going to do it. You are not holding on by the edge of your talons being like, oh my God, like this could be what ruins the business. It's not like that. It's like, fuck, this is scary. It doesn't make any sense, but I know. It's not cross your fingers and hope. It's, I know. It's, I know this dynamic inside my work is draining. And yes, they generate more sales than anybody else, but that energy is like a cancer inside the business. And I know they have to go. I don't want to, because it is scary, because where's that revenue going to come from? It's seeing those parts of your life, yourself, your work, but you see it with such clarity that even though it is a scary ass thing, at that point you are willing to just do it because you can see beyond it. We want to know the answer from the get-go and then just do it and hope and pray and cross our fingers it will work. That is the surest fire way to stay inside the misfire loops that you've already been operating out of to this point that are not getting you the results that you want. And maybe on the surface you're incredibly successful. Most of the time you are. But that deep feeling underneath that you're searching for, that it doesn't matter what you do externally, it never quite feels like home. You can only arrive there with a willingness to do this. So I hope this has been helpful. If you would like any of the resources that I mentioned throughout the podcast episode, message me at More Than This by Emma Upton on Instagram. That's the best place to find me. And if you're caught in this misfire loop, I've got a really cool PDF that I can send out to you that will blow your mind, better than 10 years, a decade of therapy, better than any talk therapy you can have, better than any business advice you can get from anybody else, clearing the fog on what's actually here for you. So again, if you come to me on Instagram, send me a fire emoji. I'll know that you want the misfire guide. Thank you for being here. Let me know if it's helpful. I love your feedback, and I will see you super soon. So that's us for today. If your soul's whispering, this is it, listen, you're not circling this for no reason. The map is real. The magic is yours. The adventure, it's already underway. You feel it. Tell me what sparked. I'm always on Insta for the big, wild, weird, brilliant conversations. And if you've got a friend who needs this fire too, please share the gold. And remember, your work isn't something you force. It's something you find by remembering what was always yours. I'll speak to you soon. Much love.